Well, today I am joined by one of my heroes, and a guy that I knew a lot longer than he ever knew me. Everybody in the world knows 16-time world champion Jim Shoulders. Jim, thanks for being here.
Well, I appreciate getting to come, Hadley.
There have been a lot of things changed in rodeo. A lot of things stay the same, and you've been asked a million questions about them. But I'm going to go a little different direction on you today. You became an icon in rodeo. And there are a lot of people that have been...
I wonder what that paid.
I don't know for sure. I'm not really sure whether it pays.
I don't know for sure what that means.
I do know.
You're calling me.
There are a lot of guys like quarterbacks in football that gained all their notoriety by television. When you were at the top of your game, we didn't have very much television, did we?
Very little. Maybe 3 or 4 national televised rodeos a year.
Right.
Would be about all, and they didn't, even at New York, they didn't televise New York, Madison Square Garden, or the big rodeos like they do nowadays, and it's been a little changes, all right.
Well, and some would say a lot of your notoriety came from the national commercials that you made, but I got a little topic about that. If you weren't already a noted figure, why in the world did they want you on a national commercial?
Well, they didn't want me on very many, I don't think. But anyway, no, I was very fortunate to get to do some quite a few different commercials. But it was really because of rodeo and winning the World Championships, and that was probably the main reason why that I got to. I did some Ford commercials. I did, of course, been Wrangler and Justin forever, and then I got a good job selling Miller Lite beer with all those old has-been football players and baseball players, and they put this old has-been rodeo hand in there, and it was probably the got more notoriety and fame from the Miller Lite commercials.
I can tell a real cowboy from the drugstore kind, clean across Texas. The way he wears his hat will tell you. And the beer that you drink's a surefire giveaway too. A lot of us drink light beer from Miller. We love the taste, but we surely appreciate that it's got a third less calories than the regular kind. You see, you don't want to be filled up when you're out there punching doggies. Ain't that right, cowboy?
I didn't punch that doggie.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
I'd go through after Billy Martin and I did that one where Martin said he didn't punch that doggie.
Yeah,
I'd go through an airport, and if I had one person come up and ask me or say, I didn't punch that doggie, and I never ever heard one of them come up and say, I didn't win a world's championship or I didn't do this. But the power of the TV is unbelievable.
It is.
It's made all the difference in all business.
Well, here on the set, I heard Cheryl Lookhart ask you a question about sponsorship, whether you got involved in national sponsorship or no. What was the answer you gave her?
Well, I said, I had a national sponsorship that gave me $150 and to sign, and also got all the rags I wanted to wear.
That's
all
a
the
good
jeans
deal.
And I thought it was a pretty good deal, better than anybody else got.
Well, something the public may not know, and you have been a long time figure with Wrangler jeans, but you and some other cowboys actually designed that jean to fit what you do. Isn't that true?
Well, yes and no, Hadley. Rodeo Ben, the old cowboy tailor, that made the best tailor-made Western suits and all out of Philadelphia, and he really designed the jean. And they came to New York in 1947 with a semi-trailer load of shirts and jackets,
right?
And 2 semi-loads of jeans. They give every contestant, every contract act, every groom, or anybody else is working at the garden, a pair of Wranglers, a shirt, and a jumper. And if you would fill out what you liked or disliked about them, they would give you another pair. And of course, that's one way to get a cowboy to
To
fill out the
participate.
bookwork,
Yeah,
you know.
he will do that,
And,
won't he?
and that was how, and of course they said designed by the champion cowboys, but I told them I didn't like the depth of the pockets, but everything else was all right. But I wouldn't wear the shirt because it had Wrangler in big yellow letters across the back.
Yeah.
That big round. And look at mine now.
There you
You
go.
know, it's changed.
But
But
it's-
anyway, we that was how the Wrangler jean business got come, and they wanted to go in competition with Levi. At that time, Levi was the big
Right.
jeans name, and when Bluebell, they were the world's largest maker of work and play clothes, and they wanted to go into jean business and get some of the Levi business. That's when they decided to use Rodeo, and they have always used Rodeo ever since 1947
Well,
as their main key, as you know, as
you know-
advertising's always been around it.
one of the reasons maybe that you challenged the depth of that pocket was you didn't have a lot to put in yours, right?
Well, I never did have it over full, I'll say that. I remember. I've seen it, had it a lot of times when I was empty. all
Yeah,
right.
you're right.
Yeah, but
Well, you know, I've seen so many great athletes be involved in the game, take all the benefits that it could offer them, and when they were done, they walked away from it, had no concern about the future or yesterday or tomorrow or whatever the case would be. You have spent all of your life staying in the game and helping support it, encouraging young people, and is it just something in your blood, or is that the way you truly feel
well,
about it?
I guess I don't know anything else, Hadley, to tell you the truth about it. No, Rodeo has been awfully good to me. I raised 4 good kids and managed to buy a ranch, and it's all actually because of my rodeo. And
Right.
I won a little, but all right. But I've had a world of really good sponsors, and I had a blonde-headed gal that was a lot of help.
Yes.
And
Yeah, you did.
She raised me 4 good kids, and they loved rodeo, and Marvin, of course, rodeoed, win some. But it's been good to me.
Well, you know,
It's been my life, you know.
athletes that are in the rough stock events like you, they're always asked about injuries, how many injuries you've had. And I've heard all descriptions of how many injuries. But I heard you answer a person in Burwell, Nebraska last summer. I'd never heard that answer before. So what are the injuries that you've had that you
Well, I
remember?
skinned my finger one time, but I didn't do it on purpose.
That's true. That's true.
I don't. Hadley, I never tried to keep track. That's something you want to forget about is being crippled, and I was skinned up a little bit.
Right.
But
Didn't you tell me that you had broke your nose?
Yeah, I've got my nose broken 7 places,
Right.
but I try not to go in them kind of places anymore.
That's what I thought you said. Right.
I try to keep out of them kind of places.
You know, I'll tell you this guy, there's so many sides to Jim's shoulders. I wish we had about 2 shows to apply totally to you. But keep doing what you've been doing, and keep that smile and that sense of humor. And this guy could have been a stand-up comedian, I'm telling you.
Now you tell me that.
It's too late, right?
I thought you was going to say I could have been a rodeo announcer and not had to work.
You know that I'm not going to enter that conversation
I
with
believe
you.
that, all right.
Jim, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you up the road.
All right. Be cautious.
You got it.